Hey pillars, and welcome to the UCI 2022 Gravel World Championships preview show. I'll be giving you all the information about the course profile, the riders, the event. This is the first time that the UCI has officially put on a World Championships for the discipline of gravel. But if you are in the gravel scene, that you know, Unbound, or formerly Dirty Kansas, was the unofficial World Championships for gravel. But UCI actually recently this year had a full-on Gravel World Series in part with Trek. Gravel has been getting popular in recent years, from the North American breakout scene to now being more mainstream in all of cycling. The UCI officially has got their hands on it, which was bound to happen anyways, but it is going to be an interesting event because of the names that we do have at this event. We're going to break it down. Unless you've been living under a rock, then you know names like Mathieu Vanderpool will be competing at this World Championships along with Peter Sagan, which is another big name in cycling. So it does have a lot of pull and a lot of interest from, let's say, more of the road cycling community to actually watch this gravel event. Now, taking a look at the course profile, the women will be racing 140 kilometers with 69% gravel and 700 meters of elevation gain, and the men will go on 194 kilometers, 800 meters of climbing, and the race has 36% unpaved roads, 18% hard gravel, 1% cobbles, 17% hard surfaces, and 27% asphalt. Now, I do want to quickly note, if you are a gravel purist, then this course and this World Championships, in my opinion, also doesn't really live up to the expectations that you would expect from a gravel race. But then again, the UCI, this is their first time really putting on an event of this nature, in terms of being the first year they've ever had a World Series for gravel along with the World Championships. So hopefully in the future we do have better gravel races, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be comparable to something like Unbound in terms of the course profile, but we do have to take what we get. Now, I was really curious on learning more information, and we will be taking a look at the start list, but one thing I found interesting when I actually looked at the UCI Gravel World Series website was the UCI Gravel World Championships has been planned out all the way till 2027. So for this year it's in Veneto, Italy, then next year Italy as well, and then in 2024 it's in Belgium, then it's gonna be in France, then Australia, and then France again. So in terms of gravel really getting that support and becoming a staple in terms of UCI level races, it's great to see. I've always loved gravel. I've wanted to race gravel back in 2020, but then the whole pandemic situation, so I never got around to doing it, but did lots of training, and I will be getting into it again. Now, on the website there also is a section for regulations, and I thought this was really interesting to share. So it says the lengths of the gravel races must be between 50 and 150 kilometers. So obviously that can change because this year's 194 kilometers, and then goes into other criteria about qualifying for the event as well. And then it says for course formats, there's two different types of courses that may be applied. A course consisting of multiple laps, so a circuit minimum 10 kilometers, and a point-to-point race, which is pretty standard. So I think in this situation it is a circuit that they're doing, which in my opinion for a gravel event I'm not too big of a fan. And this point I thought was really interesting for a gravel event. It says the course should have a minimum of 60% off-road, with cobbles being considered as off-road, meaning that for 40% of the gravel event / race you can have asphalt. And that kind of triggers me, because I wouldn't say I'm a gravel purist, but I would like to see some, grit racing compared to seeing any asphalt when watching the race, or for the riders actually riding the race. I think for gravel it has to be more. I would say at least 75%, because 60% is a little too low. At that point you have like a Strade Bianchi. Now, from the tech side, for bikes, riders may use any type of bike: road bike, mountain bike, city bike, hybrid bike, cross bike, with the exception of tandem and recumbent bikes. Time trial road bikes are also forbidden, but does that answer if clip-on aero bars are allowed? I don't know. And then for jerseys, riders are free to wear any type of jersey in the qualifier events, with the following exceptions: Reigning World Championships. So basically this is also for the World Series in terms of regulations, but that also means aero is up for being used. You can have aero socks, an aero jersey, skin suit, which is very frowned upon in the gravel community because it's just supposed to be more chill, more relaxed. But as soon as it starts getting UCI, prize money, team sponsorships, everyone's going to go full try hard mode. So it's going to be expected that people are going to be decked out for aero gains. Now, we do have the list of the UCI 2022 Gravel World Championships starter list. On the male side of favorites, we have the likes of Mathieu Vanderpool for the Netherlands, Peter Sagan for Slovakia, Nathan Haas, Lachlan Morden, and then on the female side, riders like Pauline Prévot, Sina Frey, and Sophia Villafan. Hopefully I didn't butcher that, but there's a lot of big hitters at this event in terms of World Championship contenders that can definitely battle it out for the rainbow bands. Now, as Mathieu Vanderpool being a heavy favorite, I wanted to see his bike, so they posted it, and he is rocking a Canyon Grizzle. It's pretty much decked out like a road bike. It has road bike pedals. You can see just the tire choice seems to be pretty accurate, and these riders do have time to come to Italy and really check out the course and make those modifications, because in gravel, tire pressure and tire choice is everything. If you guys are in tune with the gravel scene, it's so important. So having that testing ability prior to the event, every cyclist will be doing this, whether or not they're not really considered a gravel pro or their main discipline is gravel. It's just common sense that you would test out different tires or different tire pressure once you pre-ride the course. Now, on the topic of Mathieu Vanderpool, the heavy favorite for Gravel World Championships, he did post a recon ride, which we will be taking a look at. And I just want to highlight the pictures from this ride that he posted on Strava because it shows what type of gravel will be seen. So this is the bike he did the recon ride with. It is not his final setup bike. And then we have this picture, which is more telling of the gravel and the rocks that we do see on this course. So I really like this section because you have divots. It is hard. You know, this is somewhat skill needed to really navigate this properly. But when we go into, you know, this section of it, this is more like back roads, recreational path, which is just very easy to really move over, like nothing complicated. This is like forest path / like recreational path, like walking path. So I wouldn't say that that's anything difficult as well. This section, when you get into like grasslands, I would say that's a lot harder to actually, you know, put power through because it's, you know, soft and kind of hard to find your groove. You got to really stay in that line. So I can see that being difficult to race on, and then back to the recreational path. So I would say like this part, I would say is relatively easy as well, but this would be a little bit more like cyclocross. So it gets a little bit more intense. And then this is just some pebbles. So I think, you know, I don't want to hate too much. This is some good gravel. I like to see a little bit more complex. I don't want to hate too much on this event. Then again, it's the first time we're going to have an event like this, but I really am curious to see, you know, the tactics. I don't know if radios are involved or allowed. I don't think so. I don't know, because then that's a lot more tactical, but I'm assuming because it is World Championships, you're not allowed to have it. If they don't have it in the road, how could they have it in gravel? So it's going to be interesting to see the pacing of the event, the gravels. I don't want to see any crashes, but, you know, depending on how these riders can navigate, I don't think so. I don't think it's anything intense in terms of, well, anything at racing is intense. So I don't want to take away from the racing, but it'd be interesting to see like what sections are sketchy, which ones are easy, which ones are fast to ride over, which one takes a little bit more skill and stability to get over. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the, you know, the technique and also the thought process of how to execute this World Championships goes. Now, I want to finish this video by giving my predictions of who's going to win the Rainbow Bands. I'll say Mathieu Vanderpool has to win this World Championships, in my opinion, to really redeem his season after the World Championship disaster fiasco in Australia. So hopefully he learned from that whole situation and has bodyguards blocking his hotel door. But I would say if Mathieu Vanderpool wins this, I would say it's a good end to his season in terms of potentially a redemption arc. Then again, no one really cares that much about gravel compared to the World Series for road, but I still think as time progresses, people will care more. So Mathieu Vanderpool, I would say all eyes are on him, and hopefully he can win this because I think that would be great for him. And then for the female side, someone like Pauline Prévot, if she can win, I would say that's a good start. Then again, I'm not too much in tune with the female side of, you know, the gravel scene. Watching the female race and the male race gravel, it's going to be super interesting on both sides just because of how things can change because of the terrain changing. It's not like a road race. So I'm really excited. My pick would be, I'd hope Mathieu Vanderpool. He kind of has to. Then again, I'd be shocked to see who really wins this event because this is the first time we're ever seeing a World Championships. I know there's unbalanced stuff, but the UCI bringing the money into this discipline is just going to increase the quality of the events in terms of being able to watch it live, to be able to, you know, really root for it. The only thing I really don't like seeing is just you're going to see take away from the roots of being more like grassroots in terms of just like grit and stuff. It's going to be a little bit more marginal gains, a little bit more professional, and that's to be expected as well. Like you have World Tour pros for the road that are going to be coming into gravel, and riders like Mathieu Vanderpool having won, you know, cyclocross World Championships multiple times, you know, that just suits him in terms of this event. Now that about wraps it up for the preview show. Tomorrow I will be doing a full race recap breakdown of how the Gravel World Championships was won. I'm super excited. So if you guys did find any value, just like this video, subscribe to the channel, and until the next one, keep on pedaling.